My name is Brian Whiteman, and I am raising money to go on a mission trip to Haiti. A couple hours ago, I got an email, and somebody asked me a simple question: Why? Why do you, right now, want to go to Haiti? And sometimes when God calls you to these things, we don't understand why. We may not know why. We just know God says, here is where I want you to go. Now go. All my life in some element or some way, shape, or form, I've worked with kids. Whether it was a summer camp counselor or a aftercare teacher during the school year, or it was a camp counselor for a week at kids camp or breakaway, which is the weekend trip. And every single time, every single day, those kids made an impact in my life. We were at breakaway in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, a couple weeks ago, and with the weekend mission, with the weekend kids camp, they usually focus on missions and feeding and hunger within different countries, and bringing missionaries to those countries. And after the altar, one of the kids, I went up to pray for him, and he said, "No, don't pray for me." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I went on, and he came up to me a little bit later, and he said, "I apologize." And I said, "It's fine. You have nothing to be, you have nothing to apologize for." And he said, God was calling me out, and He was talking to me, and I didn't want to ruin the connection. And I said, "Well, that's great." I said, "What did He say?" And he said, "He wants me to be a missionary, and He wants me to go out there and help people." And you kind of step back and you go, "Wow." I mean, this kid is around 8 or 9 years old, and he knows what he wants to do with the rest of his life. He knows his purpose. And some of us go through our entire lives trying to find that purpose. So I kind of sat back and I said, "Wow, how amazing is this?" The next night, he came over to me. He said, "I want to pray for you." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "You're going to go on a missions trip too." And I said, I have no immediate plans, but if something arises, and I'll definitely consider it. He's like, "Oh no, you're gonna go." And about a week ago, Haiti arose. And so at the end of the day, I realized that God was calling him, was using him to bring that calling to me. We often forget, with our technology and our laptops and our iPads, and Facebook and Twitter, that there are people in other countries who they don't care about Facebook, they don't care about Twitter, they don't care about streaming movies or their PlayStations or their video games. The only thing they care about is survival, food, water, hope, and love, and that's it. For me, a lot of times kids will come up to me at our church and say, "Are you going to breakaway? Are you going to kids camp? Are you going to a boys all nighter?" And they actually said that a couple weeks ago for kids camp, and I said, "Kids camp's in June. I can't plan that far in advance." But to me, that kind of brings me to the realization that I have made an impact in their lives in some small way, whether it's acting silly, and being goofy like they are. I made that impact. Kids, when they consume sugar, it will last the entire week. They will be up till 4 in the morning. They will be hot, hyper. They will, go crazy and go nuts. When adults consume sugar, it lasts for about 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it. And every single time, every single kids camp or breakaway we go to, our kids are hyper, and they're enjoying themselves. But when it comes time to chapel and prayer and the altar, you just see how they pray for one another, how God impacts their lives. And even as a kid attending the same camp, I know that He impacts your lives in ways you never thought possible. I always knew that I wanted to, in some point in my life, go on a missions trip. But you become a teenager, and then suddenly you struggle. Whether it's one thing or another, you forget what you were taught your entire life. My mom always brought me to church, and she always told me trust in God, and she always reiterated that at the end of the day, when you feel like giving up, God is your hope. And I have to tell you, there are some times where I thought I lost hope. But then you overcome it. And then you come back to that realization that God is your hope. And suddenly you get your Christian faith back on track. You get your walk with God back on track, and you begin walking in the right direction. And I gotta tell you, if I never knew that, or I never even had that relationship with God in the beginning, I don't know where I would be at this point. And when I think of Haiti, I think of people who may not have that relationship, may not have that hope or that faith, or simply may not feel loved. They may not. Most of them don't. And some of them struggle every single day to find that hope, to find that purpose. Not knowing that there's a God who will help them and will walk them through it. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in Haiti. I don't know if I'm going to build a building, if I'm going to hand out Bibles, if I'm going to play with kids and play soccer or sports, or if I'm just going to talk to them. I don't know. But what I do know is that I know God will provide. And I know those kids and those adults will make an impact in my life. And I hope I can make a small impact in theirs. When I got the sheet yesterday, and you see all the things that you need to take with you, and all the shots you need, some of it's kind of intimidating. You need this, you need that, Imodium, all these different things, and for some people they may, I'm not going to do it. I don't like shots, but for me, I said, all right, let's do it, because shots are shots. They're over within a couple minutes. But what these people go through every day, it doesn't last a minute. It doesn't last an hour, and it doesn't even last days. It lasts months and years. So for me, I want to go there to help as much as I can to make an impact in Haiti. We don't have the power to make everything better in our world within a minute. We can't wake up tomorrow and suddenly, everybody has food and everybody has a nice house to sleep in and everybody has money and technology, but if we can create resources and bring people down there, we can be one step closer to having everyone within that country to have food, to have water, and most importantly, to have love and hope. And so, if you can contribute something, fantastic. If you can't, don't worry about it. ask is for your prayers and your encouragement. Because I know some way, shape, or form I'm going to go to Haiti. Whether I have to mow 20 lawns or 80 or 100 or 400, in these next 3 weeks I'm going to make it happen, and I know God will provide it. And if you can't contribute anything, I understand. And again, all I ask is for your prayers. So that's why I want to go to Haiti, and that's some stuff about me and the amazing impact that God has had on my life. And I encourage you to share this video with anybody you know, if not for anything else, but just to show people in our own country that they can turn to Jesus and He will see them through. God bless.